All right, so as you saw there, I messed up bending this. I had my mark here, and I was supposed to go to the inside of my line, so it bent around it, but I went on the outside, so it made it too wide. So I just flattened it back out. We're gonna go try it again. Fingers crossed it works. I'm not very good at this stuff. All right, that's much better. I just need to squeeze these together. It's hard to do one-handed. There we go. Much better. And I've realized that I'm gonna have to move this light because the light is further back than where I work, so it puts a shadow on everything. But unless I stand over there and work, but I don't want to do that. I like standing over here. So anyways, keep moving on. Whoops. Dip the tungsten. We'll fix that. Okay, so for those of you who are new or haven't been following along, here is what I'm trying to make. I'm trying to put this fuel pump system, that's still hot, this Holley drop-in fuel pump, dual 450 pump, in this stock fuel tank. So I had to, due to the height of this with the fittings and everything, and this is even a low profile banjo fitting, I had to recess it down in the tank. So I got to finish cutting the tank out. That's why it doesn't. So I got to finish cutting that out, and then this is going to drop down in there, and I'm going to weld it in. So that's kind of how we're looking. But so that will drop down in. It'll be recessed. This will be flush with the top. Bottom, the sheet metal of the car has about like an inch gap. We'll be golden. I think it's gonna turn out pretty good. And I've already had questions about if that's going to cause a problem with the fuel pump being below the top of the tank. And I don't think so. There's a lot of OEM fuel tanks that are that exact same way. I'll put a couple pictures up here, but as you can see, GM put a lot of fuel pumps below the level or the highest level of fuel in the fuel tank. So as long as that gasket on the fuel pump, that like 12-bolt gasket, as long as that gasket's good and the O-ring on the little fuel cap, it shouldn't leak. So I don't think it's going to cause any kind of problems. Okay, so it's the next day and it's raining, so you guys can probably hear that now. I apologize. There's nothing I can do about it. But here's where I left off last night. So I got my little bucket made, got the holes drilled for the ring, and tack welded in here. I made it extra long so that I can trim it down just to make fitting it a little bit easier. I'll weld it and then cut the excess off, but got it in there fitting pretty good. Fuel pump fits, everything works. We're going to be able to reuse the stock sending unit, so we'll have a fuel gauge if he decides to hook it up. But yeah, I think it's turning out pretty good. So now I just need to get this welded up, and then once I get it welded up, we'll test fit it in the car But before we finalize it, I'm going to pressure test it and check for any kind of leaks. So we'll put air in the tank, spray it with soapy water, make sure there's no pinholes or leaks or anywhere, and then the fuel system will be pretty much wrapped up. I have the supply hose ran, so this is the supply. I just need to make a return to go back to the tank down under here. But so yeah, there's the feed. It runs along the frame just like the stock one did. So I'll just have to add the return to that, and that's pretty much it. So I'm gonna get welding on this, and hopefully it goes well. Get this thing buttoned up today, hopefully in this video. I hope to get it in the car today. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. Check and make sure we're not too far away from the bottom of the, oh no, we're perfect. The little strainer on the bottom of the pump is about that far from the bottom of the tank. Just barely touching. It's like drooped down, and it's just barely touching the bottom of the tank, so that's perfect. So now, let's go put this under the car and see how it fits under there. And fingers crossed that it fits good. Nice. Look at that. We got plenty of room. Hell yeah. I think it turned out pretty good. Fuel line will come through and just hook up in there. Nice. All right, I'm done taking my pictures for the Instagram. You ever just lay down underneath your car and you don't want to get back up? That's me right now. Oh man. I just laid in a pile of gear oil. This pinion seal started leaking. Oh man. Look at that. Got gear oil all over my hood. Just can't have nice things. I think I'm just gonna sit here and admire my work and take a little break. All right, fuel lines are ran. The zip ties are temporary. I need to get some more of these P-clamps for the return line. So there's the fuel filter, and then comes back, up over, and into the tank. So these will get tied up here. Gives extra slack so you can drop the tank with the lines still hooked to it. Because you can't get a wrench in here, so you'll have to tighten them, then put the tank up in there. But I think it turned out pretty good. The wiring, I'll end up putting a grommet through the floor, running the wiring up into the car. Or I might run it outside. I haven't decided yet what I'm gonna do with the wiring, but yeah, it turned out pretty good. Kind of see up in there. So I think it turned out pretty good. All right, so here is my list of stuff, everything that I can think of so far. We modified the fuel tank, we ran the fuel lines, still need a pressure test the tank, flush the fuel lines, wire the fuel pump. Cooling system, we got the radiator and fans mounted, still need to wire the fans, make radiator hoses, thermostat housing. The one I wanted was on back order, so I'm waiting for that. I have the steam vent on the engine. I just need to run the hose to the radiator. That will be done with the radiator hoses. Heater hose delete. I need to figure something out there. The little U-shaped crossover will hit the control arm, so I'm gonna have to do something different there. Everything else I can think of, still need to wire the ignition. Figure out if we're doing a key switch or a toggle switch or something. Torque converter bolts, I like to do those last after I start the engine, make sure the engine's okay, and then I hook the torque converter up. Do a trans service rear U-joint. Oh yeah, rear pinion seal. I'll add that to the list. So I'm sure there's more that I'm forgetting, but after this, it's turbo kit. But this will be future. I feel like I got a lot done today. That was kind of a big task to get done, getting that fuel tank modified. It's been a long time thinking of how I was going to do it, executing it, and just getting it done. So I feel really good having that done now. Well, it's not 100% done, but you know what I mean. So with that and all the other stuff that we have to do, I feel really confident that this car is going to make it to LS Fest. I don't know if I mentioned that actually. So the guy that owns the car, he wants to take it to LS Fest West in Vegas. It's like the third weekend of April. Also, I'm going to be taking my truck to LS Fest West, so I kind of have to get both of these cars done. It's coming up really quick. So my truck, I need to finish building the hot side turbo kit. Basically have wastegates to do, build the charge pipe, oil drain, oil lines. What else? I think that's pretty much it for the turbo kit. But then I got to do the cooling system, which if you guys remember like 6 months ago or something like that, I think it was like June or July, I had started putting the radiator up underneath the bed of the truck. And then the project kind of just stalled out. So I still need to do that. I have the radiator over there against the wall. I have the Mazir electric water pump here, 55 gallon per hour. 55 gallon per hour? Or 55 gallon per minute. So I got the water pump. I've got everything to do it other than just the hose and fittings. Also running the Mazir crossover up here on the front. You can see there we got a 16 and a 12 and fitting coming off. So still need to basically plumb that. Need to weld some bungs in the radiator. Just stuff like that, a little bit more fab work. So a lot of work between the two cars to get done for LS Fest West. And I'm also probably gonna have to work on George's Maverick. If you guys don't know and have been following along, George with the Maverick, the 71 Maverick that we LS swapped last year for LS Fest, he actually started his own YouTube channel. I'll put it down below in the description. It's called Sylvia Racing 71. So go check out his channel. He's just starting out. I think he's got a couple videos up already, but he currently has the engine and transmission out of the Maverick. He had an issue with the transmission. It started making kind of a whining noise while driving. So he took it out and took it over to Hughes Performance and had them go through it. And they actually took him in the back, kind of showed him how to build a transmission, all the ins and outs, and he's in the process of doing a video on that right now. So it should be a pretty cool video, kind of a behind the scenes of Hughes Performance putting together a transmission for him. So he's got that to put back together. He's got the engine out just because it's easier to pull them both out together and put them back in. But long story short, he's got his engine and transmission out of his car and he's going to be putting it all back in, and I think he wants to put a turbo on it. So I might be doing another turbo kit before LS Fest West. So definitely have my work cut out for me here in the next coming months. So also, if you guys are interested in another channel to watch, Gabe down here on the very end, he started his own channel too, Hack Jobs Performance. And I'll put that link in the description below too. So bunch of YouTube channels coming out of the shop up here. That's gonna do it for me today though, guys. I appreciate you guys for watching. If you made it this far in the video, then you must be a fan of the channel. And if you are, please check out my merch down below. I have a couple t-shirts in a Teespring store. So if you guys wanna check that out, feel free. It'll definitely help the channel and help me. So, but yeah, I appreciate it guys. Thanks for watching and I'll see you on the next one.